Okay, we're going to do another one of our parent functions, and this is going to be from the parent function y equals the square root of x, and that's actually going to be our shape equation. So we take a look at our first function over here, y equals the square root of x minus 2 plus 1. So again, like we did with the x squared, we can see that our horizontal shift is going to be right here, and it's going to be opposite sign. So my horizontal shift, my hs, will be positive 2, opposite sign, and my vertical shift will be plus 1. And the horizontal shift is next to the x, which is on the horizontal axis. Okay. Now we have, once we take our shift away, we have our shape equation, which is everything without the shift, which is just the square root of x. So we want to try some values. So we know that the square root of 0 is 0, and the square root of 1 is 1. But like we did on x squared, we would try negative 1, but we can't take the square root of a negative number. It's going to be an imaginary number. And we really won't be able to graph an imaginary number. It doesn't appear on a graph, so we can't do any negative numbers, any negative values for x, the radical, as it stands. So my next number could be 2, positive 2, but I don't know exactly what the square root of 2 is. I think it's 1.414 something, but I'm not too sure. The square root of 3 is 1.7 something, I believe. So those don't give me exact numbers. So the next number I would try would be the next perfect square, which is 4. And the square root of 4 is 2. So those would be my key points that I would use. And that's all you really need for this. So I find my new 0, 0, which is going to be positive 2 plus 1, so 2 to the right, up 1. And then I'm going to go from there, 1, 1, over 1, 1 to the right, up 1. They're both positive, 1 to the right, up 1. And then I'm going to go 4 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 2, 1, 2. There's your other key point, and then you just kind of sketch it with a curve. This goes up like this. And it just keeps going, so you can put an arrow there or not. I mean, there's some opinions on what to do at the end of these things, so this just indicates to me that it's going to keep going, but like I said, some people say don't put the arrow down, so whatever you would like. Okay? All right, let's try another one. So again, we identify my shift. So I got a horizontal shift, opposite sign, horizontal shift. My HS is going to be negative 5. And my vertical shift will be same sign, negative 4. And my shape equation, once I take the shift away, is the same thing. And I could just use this, or there's just a few numbers, so it's real easy. 0, 1, 4, 0, 1, square root of 4 is 2. So those are pretty easy. There's not very many points. So we'll find our center point, our new 0, 0, I should say, our new 0, 0, where we're going to start. And that's going to be a shift of negative 5, negative 4. That means I'm going to go 5 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then from there, I'm going to find my other key points. I'm going to go 1 to the right, up 1, 1 to the right, up 1. That's 1, 1, positive, both positive. And I'm going to go 4 to the right, up 2, positive 4, positive 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And I've got enough room on my graph. I could actually go a little farther. I could go 9, because that's my next perfect square, and the square root of 9 is 3. So I could go 9 to the right, up 3. You don't have to, but you could. So 9 to the right would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and up 3. 1, 2, 3. And here you go. So it's going to curve like this, go like this. And there you go, something like that. You can draw it lighter, then fill it in when you get a little more confident that you got a nice smooth curve. And there you go, something like that. Okay. And let's try one more. Let's try a negative. And we've got different things we can do to these, and we'll do some more later in some later videos. We'll do some other things with this, some more shape changes by putting numbers in front or fractions in front, or even negatives underneath the radical. There's all kinds of things we can do with these. But just for now, we're just doing some basic ones. So first of all, figure out my shift. So don't worry about this negative sign here, just worry about this, and my shift will be, my horizontal shift will be the opposite sign, which would be +1. And the same sign, which would be a vertical shift, will be +2. They don't always have to have the same signs, these just happen to work like this in these examples, but they don't have to have the same sign. Now my shape equation is y equals negative the square root of x. That's everything without the shift. So when I try my table of values, I'll try x, y, 0, and the square root of 0 is 0. And I can try 1, and the square root of 1 is 1, but I've got negative times that, so I'm going to have -1. And then like we tried before, we'll try 4, but the square root of 4 is 2, but I have a negative in front, so that's going to be -2. Remember, the square root is always, of a number is always got to be positive, so we take a negative of that, all these will be negative. So my shift's going to be 1 to the right, up 2, 1 to the right, up 2. And then I'm going to go 1 to the right, down 1, and 4 to the right, down 2. And there's your there's your curve. So just connect this with a smooth curve, and again I just use a pencil so I don't mess it up, and I can darken that in as I get a little bit more confident with the curve, and there you go. So those are 3 pretty good examples of pretty basic problems, and like I said, we can do some other ones a little bit later, and I'll post those videos when I have them done.